For thousands of years, humanity has feared the darkness beneath the waves. Not storms, not shipwrecks, but something far older, something that ancient writers believed could never be destroyed by human hands. A creature described as living chaos itself, capable of bending the oceans to its will. Its scales were said to be stronger than armor. Its breath like fire. Its movement like the sea boiling in rage. Ancient scriptures gave it a name, Leviathan. But here's the unsettling part. Leviathan isn't just mentioned once, or in one culture, or by one civilization. Versions of the same terrifying sea beast appear across the ancient world in Hebrew scriptures. Canaanite tablets, Babylonian creation myths, Egyptian rituals, Norse prophecies, and even ancient Indian text. Cultures separated by oceans, centuries, and languages, all describing nearly the same monster. That raises a disturbing question. Were these stories copied? Or were they remembering something? What if Leviathan was never meant to be a metaphor? What if it was a warning? Because, according to ancient belief, Leviathan wasn't simply defeated. It was restrained, bound, locked away beneath the foundations of the sea. And some texts don't describe its end in the past, but its destruction in the future. Even more unsettling, modern science has only explored a fraction of Earth's oceans. Vast underwater caverns, endless trenches, and regions of total darkness remain untouched. Sounds have been recorded from the deep that scientists still cannot explain. Shapes have been spotted on the ocean floor that don't resemble any known geological formation. So tonight, we're not just asking whether Leviathan was real. We're asking something far more dangerous. What if it never left? The story of Leviathan emerges most clearly in ancient Hebrew scripture, where it is not treated as a fairy tale or symbolic creature, but as a force beyond human control. In the book of Job, Leviathan is introduced in one of the most dramatic moments of the text. Job, broken by suffering, demands answers from God. Instead of explanations, God presents visions of overwhelming power, and among them stands Leviathan. This creature is described as untouchable. Weapons shatter against its scales. Its breath ignites flames. Smoke pours from its nostrils. Its eyes gleam like sunrise breaking over the sea. The ocean itself recoils when Leviathan moves, churning as though it were boiling. The message is clear. No human authority could ever master such a being. Only divine power could restrain it. Elsewhere, Leviathan appears again, but this time as something already defeated. In Psalms, it is portrayed as a cosmic enemy crushed during the formation of the world. Its body broken apart as an act of divine order overcoming chaos. This portrayal suggests Leviathan was not merely an animal, but a manifestation of primordial disorder itself. Ancient Jewish traditions expanded this idea even further. In later writings, Leviathan is described as so dangerous that only one was allowed to live. The female was destroyed to prevent the species from multiplying. According to these texts, Leviathan has a role reserved for the end of days, when it will finally be slain in its body, transformed into a symbol of divine victory. But Leviathan's story doesn't belong to one religion alone. In ancient Ugarit, clay tablets tell of Loten, a massive multi-headed sea serpent serving the chaotic sea god Yam. Loten's descriptions mirror Leviathan, almost exactly a coiling serpent, twisting through the deep, threatening the stability of the world. Order is restored only when the storm god Baal defeats both Yam and his monstrous servant. Move east into Mesopotamia, and the story grows even larger. Here, chaos itself takes the form of Tiamat, the living ocean. From her depths rise dragons and monsters, unleashed against the gods. Only when the storm god Marduk confronts her does creation become possible. He splits her body in two, forming the heavens and the earth from the remains of a defeated sea power in Egypt. The serpent Apophis attempts to devour the sun each night, threatening eternal darkness. Rituals were performed daily to ensure its defeat. In Norse mythology, Jormungandr, the world serpent, coils around the planet itself, destined to rise during Ragnarok and poison the gods. In ancient India, the serpent Vritra blocks the waters of the world until slain by Indra, Across continents, the pattern repeats. A monstrous being tied to the sea. Chaos threatening existence. A divine force struggling to restrain or destroy it. Scholars call this pattern the Chaoskampf, the eternal battle between order and chaos. But the question remains, how did so many isolated cultures imagine nearly the same creature? Some believe these stories may preserve distant memories. Not of one creature, but of encounters with real prehistoric predators. Fossils confirm that Earth's oceans were once ruled by monsters beyond imagination. Massive marine reptiles like Mosasaurus, Kronosaurus, and Liopleurodon dominated ancient seas. Later, enormous predatory whales like Basilosaurus and Leviathan hunted with jaws powerful enough to crush bone. Early humans may have seen their shadows beneath the waves. They may have discovered their bones washed ashore after storms. Over generations, fear transformed into legend. Yet even today, the ocean remains largely unexplored. Scientists estimate over 90% of it is still unmapped. Deep trenches plunge nearly 11 kilometers beneath the surface. Light never reaches these depths. Strange life thrives there, creatures that glow. Vanish or defy known biology. In 1997, instruments detected an immense sound in the Pacific Ocean, a low-frequency noise unlike anything recorded before. Nicknamed the Bloop, it was powerful enough to be detected thousands of kilometers away. Whatever produced it would have dwarfed the largest known animals on Earth. Its source remains officially unidentified. Other mysteries followed. Strange structures discovered on the seafloor. Unexplained disappearances in regions like the Bermuda Triangle. Shapes visible on satellite imagery that resemble enormous submerged forms. Each case has explanations, but none completely erase the questions. And then there are the prophecies. The book of Isaiah speaks not of Leviathan's past, but its future. A time when it will rise once more, only to be destroyed by divine force. Later biblical texts echo this imagery, describing monstrous beings emerging from the sea during humanity's final trial. To some, these are symbols. To others, warnings. As oceans change, strange patterns emerge, mass strandings. Dying coral, shifting currents, unexplored caverns revealed as waters recede. Science offers explanations. Faith offers interpretations. But both agree on one thing. The deep still hides secrets. Perhaps Leviathan was never a single creature. Perhaps it was a memory of ancient terror, reshaped by time. Or perhaps, beneath the crushing pressure and endless darkness, something still waits. Because if humanity has learned anything about the ocean, it's this: we have barely scratched the surface.